here.
Okay. First of all, I just want to say, obviously I know that this is, you guys were thinking about today, and I can imagine how, difficult this is for your family sitting here. So all I want to say is that we are thinking of you throughout this entire thing. We're here for you, and we're here because of Jack, and we just want to be able to highlight the person that he was and the legacy that he leaves behind. He leaves behind a whole community, a loving family. So that's just what I want to start with saying. But I just first want to ask, how you guys have been doing so far and in this past month.
Hell. I mean, that's about the best ways I can say it anyway.
It's been rough. Nobody writes a book how to go through something like this, so you just get up every day and figure out what you have to do.
And then, Dad, you were talking earlier on the way of his passing and how that has affected you. Just if you would be able to talk about that again.
It's been rough. I mean, we lost our son. I mean, it's unimaginable. You're not supposed to bury your kids, especially like this.
His life was taken. They took it. It's a careless act, a stupid, careless act. And it's hurt so many people.
And you said it was Kindness Day. You said what type of?
It was National Random Act of Kindness Day. It was February 17th. And he was trying to be kind, and it got him killed. I mean, like Theresa said, had it been two grown men, he wouldn't have asked them for a ride. They were kids. Babies.
You never would have expected that. You think you could trust, like you said, two young kids.
I mean, it was cold. It was freezing cold. There was an ice storm. It was like, 20 degrees out, and these kids are walking at midnight. And he was getting ready. I mean, he was leaving, and he said, "Hey, you want to ride? Get you home where you can be warm," or whatever, and that's it.
Walk me through kind of that night from your guys' perspective, because we know that how it happened and how the police have told us and everything, but walk us through that night for you guys, where you were, just kind of talk about that night.
I mean, we were just here, and he had called, cracking jokes, as usual. And I don't know, it must have been 8:30 when you talked to him, Theresa.
Yeah, maybe 10.
Said, basically he'd be home after a while, and we went to bed, and then, 4 o'clock in the morning, my phone went off. It was dispatched saying that there was 2 officers at the door, and we needed to let them in. I mean, we knew something happened. We didn't know if it was her or, or what. And then they said something about Jack, and I said, "Is he okay?" And he said, "Kevin, Jack is deceased, and it's a homicide." Bam, right there. We lost it. And then the sun came up, and before you knew it, there was 50 or 60 cars in the yard. People were coming in, and
bunch of people we haven't seen in a while just came, and all throughout the day and the next day, and my aunt, his sisters stayed, cleaned the house, people bringing food, and just making sure that their presence was known. It was nice, a little overwhelming, but it was nice. It was just weird. It was like it wasn't like it was for Jack. Like everyone was just there. Like it didn't seem like this is why everybody's here. You know, like when he called me, I was just on our way here at 4 a.m, trying to figure out what's going on because he didn't tell me anything. I texted Jack on my way here to see what was going on.
And just, I mean, getting that knock on your guys' door, you know, that late at night, and hearing those words, I mean, I'm sure that doesn't even, like, register.
No, it didn't. It somewhat still doesn't.
It doesn't. It comes in waves all the time.
It's been 41 days. Neither of us have been back to work yet. She's trying. I don't even know how to say it. I don't think devastating is enough. It's more than that. I mean, the whole town, the whole city is angry.
If you teach your kids, you know, to be nice, to like be a good person and maybe lend a hand once in a while, and now people don't even want to do that. Like I don't want to teach my future kids that after what happened to my brother for just being nice. Like it's scary now. And especially young kids, we're raised to be nice and to it's just
And just, you have a whole town with this anger that wants this justice for your son. I mean, just we spoke on the phone, the anger that you guys feel inside. Just touch on that.
Well, we definitely want justice served for sure. That's a big part of it. You know, it's unfortunate that those boys are babies.
And they made a terrible choice. And they need to set an example. I mean, they need to make these kids an example for other kids that could be thinking about doing the same thing, you know, or thinking that that's the life they want to live.
Those boys knew they were going to steal a car that night. Just Jack made it easy for them, or almost.
Yeah, they didn't even get the car.
You know, we
They didn't take anything. He had a brand new laptop in the back seat, his cell phone, his car,
jewelry.
I mean, whatever. They got nothing, but hopefully a life sentence of
misery.
Mm-hmm.
He was at his girlfriend's birthday party that night. Is that correct?
Yes, 18th birthday party
18th
with her
birthday.
family.
Did what time did he get there?
I'm not sure what time he got there.
I'd say probably around 7 or so, 7, 8 o'clock.
And it's obviously, he goes to something so exciting in his life. You know, you said they've been together for 3.5 years and had a strong relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then this happens. I mean, can you just talk about maybe his relationship with his girlfriend and just in that sense?
They were cute. They were so cute. Like, he was nervous to bring her around because he was just so, I don't know if embarrassed or just nervous or whatever to bring her over, but every time he talked about her. I asked about her, like, they were really cute. They're still going to be in our family for a very long time. Obviously now, not the way we want her to be. And that's what makes me more mad is that
They were both robbed.
Yeah, my future sister-in-law is not going to be my sister-in-law anymore. It irritates me that they also took him away from her, and I think about her often, and because I can't imagine what she's going through and her standpoint.
Sitting here today, what would you like people to know about your son?
He was the one that was going to leave this town for sure and do bigger and better things. And he was robbed of that as well.
He went to Spain, so he definitely had an eye for what else is out there in the world. Like, he was gonna go to college.
He brought us home an exchange student.
Yeah. we gained a brother from that as well.
Mom, what are you thinking?
Just say he was an easy kid to raise.
Self-driven.
He was self-driven. I didn't ever have to say, get up and go to school. Or get out there and go to practice or anything. I never had to do that. He was just like, let's go. All on his own.
Yeah.
And he's the one that wanted good grades. He's the one that wanted to be part of things, you know. He was just a really great kid.
Very involved. He was a great big brother to Liam. Always made sure that he was doing what he had to do and wasn't getting in any trouble. Or sometimes I feel like he was the older sibling, you know, but we had our times, but we also had that bond as well.
Yeah. Dad, what else would you like people out there to know about your son?
He was an all-around good kid. You know, we knew he was a good kid. But, you know, after he'd passed, then, you know, we started hearing all these things, you know, other people that he had helped and touched. And I guess we just, he knows that I was proud, but I'm a lot prouder, you know what I mean? Forever 17, you know?
Can you tell me more about your relationship with Jack? Obviously, you guys were so close to your son. And it sounds like your whole entire family.
He was my firstborn son. I was his first love. I mean, he was a total mama's boy.
Mhm. Mhm.
That he was.
He was.
At least
It's
you're a
almost
daddy's
not
girl.
real that he's gone.
Yeah.
Because he's not gone. I mean, he's everywhere we turn. He's in every thought we have, you know.
He's in your hearts.
What's left of it?
A good boy. And I am very proud.
And Dad, just tell me about your relationship with him. Obviously, you were so close.
I mean, we were really close. He spent, you know, younger years, and, you know, I guess I'd like to think that, like, you know, every dad, I was his hero. Then, of course, he kind of veered from me a little bit, and, like I said, became mama's boy. He told her a lot more than he told me. I mean, I can't even stress it enough how good of it. I don't even think he ever even was in a fight other than with her or Liam, you know.
Yeah, he was definitely not a fighter. He was a lover.
Yeah, all the kids, you know, have compassion and empathy, and they were raised to, you know, Theresa and I, we always told the kids, you know, always stand your ground regardless. Always. And
Be the better person.
yeah.
You guys set a wonderful example. Absolutely.
You know, I can just see, you know, when all this what happened, it was instinct, and he was a good sized kid. I mean, he was a lot taller than me. He'd been working out, and he was strong, and I could just see that, you know, he probably figured he could, once he seen that gun, he could stop it, and he couldn't, and he was called home early. I don't know why, but he was.
I mean, you guys raised such amazing sons. I mean, he just, like you said, like, he did nothing wrong.
No, he was a naughty teenager, but he wasn't like over the top.
He was like stealing cars and stuff.
But I mean, you know, that night he did absolutely nothing wrong.
No.
Just offered a ride.
Mm-mm. On his way home from his girlfriend's birthday party.
He was going to go places, see things. You know, he'd already been to Spain, you know. I mean, spent a few weeks there with Yvonne. And
Yeah, I guess tell me more about his ambitions. And I know that he had applied to colleges. I think that we spoke on the phone. Did acceptance letters come in at all, or did any?
Oh, I get an email every day. I got his transcripts after he passed in the mail. Colleges were texting me and messaging me and emailing me every day, and they're still coming. We're still getting flyers.
It's got to be incredibly hard reading his name on those in those letters coming in. But also has to be so humbling to make you so proud of your son.
Absolutely.
Now, I heard that he wanted to go to GVSU, to Grand Valley. Was that true? Tell me more about where he was thinking about going.
He was working on the Pipeline Scholarship. It's a competitive scholarship program to get for 4 years, I believe. Obviously, he didn't get to turn in that essay. I'd like to see what it says, though, because he had been reading it to me. Mom, check this out. How does this sound so far? You know, when I get his computer back, I can see what he has.
They have that right now.
Yeah.
Sure. That'll be nice to read that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know where he wanted to go at all, or what school?
Well, he thought Valley, or Grand Valley, of course, if he could get the scholarship, because otherwise he was going to start out like at KCC. They had 2 free years. The Battle Creek kids get 2 free years at Kellogg. So he really could have had his associate's degree. And he was taking classes at Kellogg through high school. So he had college credits already.
He applied to several different schools. Again, that just shows, and I'm sure you can speak more to it, just how motivated and ambitious he was.
Yes.
Oh, no.
he wanted to be the best he could be, for sure.
The cops are coming.
I said during COVID, he taught himself how to cut hair.
On his little brother.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
He cut my hair a few times, and a bunch of our friends
Let him practice.
called it Jack's Fresh Cuts.
Oh, I love that. It just, I mean, obviously, he was so full of life. He seems like just a joyful kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was always happy. But I don't know. He was just that kind of person.
Talk to me more about his interests. I know that he loved to play soccer. Kind of tell me about his journey through that.
Well, he started probably 4 or 5 years old at Waddles Park, and we had soccer Saturday for all those years until he hit high school, and then he played for Central. He just loved the sport, loved the soccer community, loved being competitive and boosting up his teammates, and soccer was his thing. He wasn't even really very good at it. He did get better as the years went, but he loved it. He just loved it. He loved the run. He loved all of it.
What was it like just seeing him grow into the wonderful young man that he was?
It happened really fast.
Yes, it did. He was a little short kid with braces, and then within like a year, he was taller.
Over us.
Yeah, and he would kind of look down at me and crack jokes, and I'm like, okay. That's when he started the whole built different thing.
He loved the gym. He loved to push himself. He'd go to the gym 5 days a week. Just really something to do. Probably kept him out of a lot of trouble that he could have got in, because he ate like a horse. He'd come home and eat 2 cans of tuna fish, or 3 cans, a loaf of bread, half a jar of peanut butter. I mean, that kid was constantly eating.
Then go to the gym and come back and eat again.
No. After eating at his friend's house, he was just.
I've seen pictures and so many different photos, at the memorial, and obviously of you guys on Facebook, and I just want to let you know he was a handsome young man.
He was just like his mama.
Touch on more of his personality. You guys know him the best. I talked about earlier how he's not entirely shy. Just tell me more about his personality.
He was very witty. He was quick too.
Yes.
You couldn't stump him. He would stump you.
He
Quick to
was.
respond, something funny or sarcastic. He was very sarcastic.
He was very quick.
He wanted you to be happy. He wanted you to smile. He wanted people to laugh. He was funny.
Joke after joke after joke.
Almost too much sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was too much sometimes.
He would say he doesn't take me seriously. I'm like, he does not. He's a lot like us.
He would say he doesn't take you seriously?
Him seriously.
Oh, okay.
But that was just the way he was. It wasn't that he didn't hear us. He was listening. His response were probably what I would say, or maybe what you would say.
He stumped me more than once. Especially, try to get mad at him, or just if he was messing around or something, and I would get on him a little bit, and he always turned it into something. I mean, I always, like, just cracking something and just turned me right around. So I just
kept you on your toes.
Yeah, for sure.
You tell me more about his daily routine. What did that look like?
Well, him and Liam got up every day and hit the grind. He, like I said, he was taking classes at Kellogg. He'd take Liam to school. He would go to school. When school was out, him and Liam were both on the soccer team this year, and last year. But, so they did soccer and life, and then the gym, and
And they
Maryland's
they
house.
play together.
Liam was JV, Jack was varsity.
Okay. But
Right.
I'm sure that they just, would hit the ball around.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Him and the kids would get together all the time. Even during COVID, they'd ride their bikes all the way to Riverside to play soccer, and that was like an 8-mile ride. But
Yeah.
He wasn't driving then, so they wanted something to do, so they went and played soccer.
Yeah, him and all of his buddies, they would go out there and play. I mean, not every day, but a lot. And then like last or the summer before, they Jack and all the most of the teammates all summer long would go play soccer just to try to get ready for the season. Mm-hmm. And they did all that on their own.
I don't know if you remember exactly, but do you remember the last thing that you said to him?
That morning, I told them I loved them. I tell the kids I love them all the time, but that literally was the last thing that I said before I headed off to work.
Same. We usually text at night because I go to bed a reasonable hour, especially in the days that I work. And we were texting back and forth. He was making jokes about staying at Maryland's because the weather's bad, but her parents are strict, and that wouldn't happen. I was like, okay, well, let me talk to her mom. He's, oh, just kidding, And then he called me, which he doesn't normally call me, but he called me, and I don't know, night, and I love you. How was the party? I talked to Marilyn. I talked to him. Just normal. Love you. Good night. Get home safe.
Obviously, you thought you talked to him.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you guys have so many special memories with your son. Is there one or two or three, however many, that you can remember fondly, or a memory that you would really like to share?
I know you got some.
Any ideas, kid?
I got a few. It's just spitballing.
You can come on back if you want.
Okay.
I'll give you one. Just this last winter, maybe 2 weeks before this happened, we had some snow, and Jack and Marilyn were here, and they wanted to go sledding, but they could only find one sled, so Marilyn was wearing some kid-size snow pants, my coat, my boots. Jack's bundled up in whatever he could find, and I look out the door, and he is pushing her down the hill on a canoe.
The kayak, yeah.
Kayak. On a kayak.
I don't know how many times they drug that thing back up, and they just
drag
kept
it up and
going down.
Is it in the backyard here, or where was it at?
Yeah, there's a hill in the back.
on the kayak.
We were on a plane going to Texas to visit our family down there. And me and Jack were sitting next to each other, and they were on the other side. And there was this guy that would not talk at all. Like, he was just there, and he started sleeping. And Jack's sitting right next to him, and he goes like this, nudges me, and he's like mocking the dude, going like this with his hand on his knee, and he's just like with his blanket, acting like he's like sleeping on the guy. And it was funny. He did that a couple of times, and it was just, he was just a goofy person. Like, he was always like impersonating people. Like that time we went to, what was it?
Kalahari.
Yeah, Kalahari.
Oh.
He got body slammed by a big guy in the what was it?
The wave
The
pool.
Wave pool. And he came back and was telling us all about it. And he said his face was like all in this guy's stomach and stuff because the wave kept pushing him and hitting him.
Yeah, he couldn't get out of the way.
Yeah, and he would like make this joke, and it started to be like a common joke in our family. He's like, I'm sorry. Like,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. And his person, like, the way he said it was just hilarious every time.
The guy that he kept saying, I'm sorry, because the waves kept pushing him into Jack. And so he just started cracking jokes. I'm sorry. It was, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It just turned out to be a huge thing throughout our family.
Kind of like an
Inside joke,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
Like the built different thing. Like, Jack started working at McDonald's, but before that he always said he was built different, right? And so we were like, yeah, Jack, whatever, shut up, like, you just shut up. And then
Did he work there throughout high school, or
No,
did he have other jobs, or
Oh,
not so much?
no, he worked at McDonald's. I don't know. It was a little under a year.
yeah. So when did you start it?
Make different.
Yeah. You started. Did you start that?
Yeah. So he
hated it.
I think he got burnt by the grill or something, and he come home and was talking about it, and I said, "Oh, so you're McDifferent, huh?" And I had him stumped on that one because he did not like that one.
You got him there.
Yeah, I got him on that one. And he used to get mad when I'd say McDifferent.
Oh, that was an inside joke for a long time too. Yeah, he got annoyed by that.
For years he always said the built different thing,
Yeah.
and
Which is a common thing nowadays. People say on social media and stuff. You know.
What does that exactly mean? Built different. What do you mean by that?
I don't know if it came from this big muscle dude, and he like broke an egg in his arm, and he's like, I'm built different, and like everyone started mocking it. I don't know if that's what it came from, but it's like strong men, and like I think he was like, yeah, I'm built different, just being like his cocky self or whatever, and it turned into McDifferent because. No, he was cocky, so we're getting him back basically. But no, he was really clear, like truly built different, but in a different way than just muscle and stuff. He was,
the compassion for others, and that's that. Like I say, after he had passed, we started hearing all this stuff of people who he had helped and changed, and we figured out that he really was built different, and that's kind of my thing and Teresa's thing. We kind of want to push that, the whole built different, and have other people be
like him.
built different, and not be afraid to help others.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what the world needs, is people like him. It would be a better place, I think, if more people cared. I mean, unfortunately, he was trying to do something nice, and it got him killed.
I mean, yeah, what is that like, just knowing that he was just trying to help out two boys that night, and just...
That's the hardest part.
His kindness.
That is the hardest part. He wasn't in some...
He wasn't a bad crowd at all.
Wasn't. No, the kids he hung out with were good kids. I don't know. I mean, it makes it even worse. It'd be one thing, if he was in a drug deal gone bad, or, in the middle of an assault, or doing anything malicious, but he wasn't. He was just being himself.
Do you think about that? Do you think of just kind of him in the situation, and kind of put yourself in that situation and think about it that way?
Well, like I said, we taught the kids to stand their ground.
Absolutely.
And he did. I wish he wouldn't have. I wish he would have just got out and gave the car up. But he fought, and that, I'm very proud of him.
Which he always said he would do that. He did make that clear. I remember we were talking about it in the dining room when he was like, oh, like, I got it. Like, I'll be able to, be someone up or whatever. And we're like sitting here like, Jack, like, you can't just assume because you're so tall and you work out and stuff, like, you can't just be all big and bad. But
He'd never been in a fist fight.
no.
Other than sibling fights. He had never been in a fight with anyone.
Mm-mm.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like at least I would know. Or Liam.
Yeah, I could take him down with an ear twist. I mean, I wasn't afraid of it.
What would you like people to know about just really the incident that transpired that night? From your end, what would you want people to know about that specific incident?
It changed a lot of lives.
Yeah.
Broke a lot of hearts. Changed a lot of people's perspectives.
Did it change your perspective?
Absolutely.
Knowing that such young boys did such a thing.
That's the worst part of it. Like he said, if it would have been, he would never have just given anyone a ride. And then to know that these boys, I mean, I don't know how accurate it is, but there was a $300 payout for them to get that car, or a car. $300.
So he died for $300. I mean, really. His life was worth $300
To them.
to them, yeah. And it's just it's horrible. And again, now you know things like this make it so people are afraid to help people now. I mean, people were kind of afraid before, but now, I mean, you can't even. I don't know. It's and it sucks. It sucks that it's that way now.
Does it just kind of change your perspective on how you view the world now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely broken.
Like I seen some guy yelling at his son at a bar, and I kind of like looked at that, and I'm like, you can't do that, because you just don't know anymore. Like you don't know what's gonna
Can't
happen.
get involved. You
No.
can't even try and stop things
No.
because
It's just
who knows?
I always make sure like I tell like we text each other every night now like love you, good night, because you just don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow or throughout the night. Like it changes everything. Like makes me want to change my whole life around, my aspect on life, and it literally changes the way you think about everything.
What would you say, especially to young teenagers today? What would you tell them?
That is not the answer. Guns are not the answer. Violence is not the answer.
Taking an easier way out to get
Exactly.
to make money is not the answer. You know, like you're gonna steal a car for $300 for what?
Stomach's growling.
You know, I could hear both of them.
What do you guys miss the most about it?
His cockiness. And his smile.
Thinking.
I'm gonna miss him wanting to catch me up on his life whenever I see him, and he always wanted to watch a movie or cuddle. I guess not really cuddle, but like just bond together. And he always did that. I'm gonna miss those talks and updates and him making fun of me sometimes and telling me what I'm doing wrong in life. Like he always just his little lectures.
Yeah, and he did that to everybody. I mean, didn't he? I mean, he was always, you know, telling other people to be better.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy, you know.
Yeah, he's like, you can do it. Why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, coming from my son, you know, just.
It's an amazing example.
Yeah. He really was that person for everybody. Like, if you really want to, you can do it. You just gotta do it.
Mom, what will you miss about your son the most?
I will miss everything, of course, but anytime we ran into each other, whether it be outside, it was usually in the kitchen. I spent a lot of time in there. He would always hug me, always. And then I would be sitting in the chair, reclined, relaxing, and he would come and lay on the couch, head in my lap, all the time, at least once a week, just to have a, my mom used to call it something, but just to like touch base, just to, yep, I'm here and you're here. And it wasn't always for a long time. Sometimes he would snore. Sometimes I would snore. But little stuff like
Just
that.
big hugs.
Yeah.
How's just the loss of your son just impacted you as a family?
We're at a total loss as to even how to move in any direction, you know. We don't know how to do this. We've never lost anyone this close to us. You know, you expect old people or sick people to die and be gone, but you don't expect that from a kid.
It's pure hell. It is. That's really the best way that I can explain it. It's you're not supposed to bury your kids. You're not. And we had to.
And then to be to a stupid crime. I mean, it wasn't a slippery road, ran into a tree, or a car accident. You know, it was just stupidity.
He was murdered. It's just a simple fact. He was murdered.
You know, does it just anger you towards those two boys?
Oh yeah,
Mad at the parents,
I'm mad at the parents.
all of them.
The parents
Both,
that didn't parent
yeah.
those boys, I'm mad at them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm mad at the boys for thinking that. Well, whatever they were thinking. Mad at the world, basically.
Dad, what do you want to say?
I'm definitely angry. But I mean, I guess that's to be expected. But yeah, I'm mad at the whole situation. I mean, there's a lot of things. Those boys shouldn't even been on the street. They should not have been on the street with their past records. You know, had they should have been locked up, and if they was locked up, Jack would still be here. I mean,
Had they been held accountable to their prior actions, then it would have never got to this.
He shouldn't have been able to have a gun, period.
no, they should. No, they shouldn't. I mean, we all have CPLs, but we're all trained on how to use them. You know, and I feel that if there was more people that were trained properly with firearms, and people chose to defend themselves when these things happen,
Maybe people wouldn't be so quick to just pull out a gun and start shooting.
yeah. I mean, there's places all over to go do training. I mean, Freedom Firearms is the closest. I mean, they do a really good class. You know, there's CPL training, there's advanced CPL training, there's tactical training to know how to use those weapons if you need to. I mean, for a child to be running around with a firearm, that's
legal.
not, no, I mean, it's not even cool. It's not. It's irresponsible, for one. I mean, when we were 13 and 14-year-old, we fought. We weren't scared of getting beat up. That's just what we did. Now the kids are scared. They have no accountability whatsoever. You know, these kids, they in some stupid way, somehow probably justify this thing. And I tell you, I hope they rot. I hope they rot. I hope they stare at a cell every day for the rest of their natural lives. I really do. They took our son, her brother, Liam's brother, for something stupid. Yeah, I'm angry. We're all angry.
Can't replace them.
No, you can't. You know, as a family, we're going to see to it that them boys never walk the street again. You know, some people may think that's harsh. I don't. At least if they're in prison, their families can go see them, hug them. We can't. We don't have that option. We got a grave site that we can go see, or a memorial. That's what we have. And if, you know, people think that's harsh, then sorry about your luck.
I don't think it's harsh.
They still have their kids.
What would you like to say to Jack? Sitting here today, if you could say something to him.
Just that I miss him, and thanks for being a good kid. And I hope that other kids will follow in his example. I want kids to have hope, and he would too. He really would. He would turn this around into
Something positive.
something positive. Let's work harder, kids. Let's work better, guys. We can do this in a different way.
Dad, what about you? What would you like to say to him if you could say something today?
I would just like to tell him that I'm very proud of him and I love him, miss him deeply. Sorry, my belly starts growling when I get nervous. Hopefully y'all can edit that out of there.
Yeah, mine is too.
And you, Meadow.
Just say, I love you, Bubba J. Everything we talked about before, I'm gonna do that. And I got Liam. We miss you. And we'll be together again someday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so strong, and I can't imagine. Yeah.
We don't want anyone to have to imagine.
No,
No.
I would not wish this on
Anyone?
anybody.